It was the worst day of my life. The worst day.
3 months pregnant and only a day after finding out she was having a baby girl, Amy Pirani was diagnosed with breast cancer.
As soon as she said, I have bad news, I knew. I said, it's cancer, right? She said, yeah.
When she got the call on Friday, she took the phone and she went outside and she was by herself, and I'm just looking out the window and I can just see her just starting to break down.
They had said to me, there's a strong possibility that you will have to terminate this pregnancy. You will not be able to carry this baby.
Amy was living in Florida at the time with her husband, Chris, and the couple's 4-year-old son, Gregory.
My older sister's husband said, come up. You need it. You need the family. And, I said, okay. But I'm in Florida, I'm comfortable. And he goes, you need to be up with family. This is when you need all hands on deck, because you're going to go through a lot. And pretty much, we got in the car and drove up.
The family settled in with Amy's parents in the Point Pleasant home in which she grew up and began consulting doctors here in New Jersey.
We said, we don't want to terminate, So when we got to the oncologist, when we got to Dr. Totmeyer, she said, you're not going to terminate, you're going to carry the baby, and this is what we're doing.
We went ahead and treated her with standard chemotherapy that we typically administer to women who are not pregnant if they're diagnosed with node-positive breast cancer. And she tolerated that therapy quite well, and we timed that therapy to really optimize when Amy would deliver the baby so that we kind of maximize the time in utero, but at the same time, we don't delay her treatment.
I did chemotherapy for 6 rounds every 3 weeks.
We gave her the chemotherapy without doing her surgery, so we were able to see in real time her response to the chemotherapy, and she had a very dramatic response. We could no longer feel her tumor when her chemotherapy was completed.
Amy 100% constantly was confident that the baby was fine, and she was right.
On August 23rd, doctors induced labor, and Amy delivered a healthy baby girl, Paige Virginia Pirani.
She's a miracle, by far a miracle. They told me that we're going to terminate, and now she's a miracle, she's healthy, everything, full head of hair.
With chemotherapy and her pregnancy now in the rearview mirror, Amy's next challenge would be surgery. Because she tested positive for the BRCA2 gene, Amy elected to have a double mastectomy with breast reconstruction, both of which would take place in a single surgical procedure at Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital in New Brunswick.
She'll be undergoing an immediate reconstruction, which means at the time of her mastectomy, we'll be rebuilding the breast. Yeah, I mean, you'll feel okay. In her case, because of her size and shape, we're looking to do a one-step reconstruction.
You're going to be fine.
We're going to take good care of you.
Surgical oncologist Dr. Lori Kirstein would perform the mastectomy, while plastic surgeon Dr. Robert Herbstman would handle the reconstruction. After more than 5 hours in the hospital's same-day surgical waiting area, the news was all good for Amy's anxious family.
Worked out fine. She's in the recovery room. She's awake, smiling, which is always nice.
Everything went great. They also checked for the lymph nodes under the armpit, and that all came back negative, so they didn't have to do anything as far as removing her lymph nodes. The care that we've gotten from the doctors and the news that we got today, we are just beyond blessed.
A week after surgery, Amy is still a little sore.
Everything's still numb. He said we'll be numb for a while because, they had to cut a lot out.
She's awaiting test results that will determine whether or not she will need to undergo radiation.
I cross my fingers I don't have to have radiation, but if I do, it's not a big deal.
The support Amy and Chris received from family and friends over the past 9 months was crucial.
You can't thank them enough. You can't. I mean, it's your family. You expect to have them there during good times and bad. It's just what we do as a family. We're together. We're always there for each other, no matter what.